Hi everybody, welcome to another day of Vlogust. The month of August I've really been enjoying, like just in personal life and everything. Like it's been a really lovely month. July was a little bit of a harder month and I kind of like pushed through it. And deep down I knew that I wanted to do Vlogust and I was gonna do it, but I really didn't think I was going to be posting as regularly as I am. I'm hoping to do it all month, but only time will tell. But I'm really glad that I did, because I've really been able to balance everything in life, and I think it was really important for me to push through and do this. I know not every video is exciting, but I've been able to maintain everything in life. There's been a couple of days where I've been a little bit tired, but I also know it's only for a month, but I've really been enjoying it, and I think it's really forced me to do those routines and the organization that helps me. So little things have popped up this month, but I've been able to work through them and still be able to edit and fit it into the time that I've scheduled throughout the day. And you know, I'm not staying up late at night, I'm not sacrificing anything, and I think it was something that was really important for me. I remember the old days of vlogging, like I'd be up a little bit later, I'd be doing like a one-day turnaround and everything. I can't do that anymore, so I started a little bit early, and so far it's been working out. How the rest of the month goes, I don't know, but so far I have been enjoying it. And I just wanted to thank you all for your patience and just, you know, being involved here. I know a lot of people will watch on TV or whatever. To me, YouTube is still like something I do on my iPad or watch on my phone here and there, but I appreciate it. Just this little community here, I really enjoy it, and I thank you just even for your words of wisdom over the years. Like I greatly appreciate it. And then, you know, when somebody leaves a comment too, that, you know, little things that I share in day-to-day life helps them, you know, get something done easier, and that's, I love to hear that. But I also love hearing other women's words of advice or encouragement, and really having this little community here. So I want to thank you. But I thought it'd be a good little coffee chat because I'm 50 years old. Like that Sally O'Malley, what's her name? Tina Fey. Molly Shannon, she had that character. And I'm like, oh, here I am, I'm gonna be 51, but there's a lot of things that have changed over the years that some of them I like, some of them I'm not so crazy about, and it's about finding that balance. And I think sometimes I wish there was still a lot of things that were very much like it was when I was a child, but I also know there's been a lot of, you know, advancements in medicines and different technologies and all that that have changed a lot of people's lives, whether they have disabilities or they get an illness and they're able to, you know, live a full life and all of that. But there's also a lot of downside to the internet and social media and all of that, and it really is about trying to find the balance. But I can't help but get excited for this time of the year, because even though I don't have kids in school anymore, but September for me was always like a new year, fresh start, because I would go back to school. We would get new clothes, we would get new shoes, but most importantly, there was new TV shows starting, or those favorite ones returning, and I was always get excited. Like even like when the kids were younger, I would always buy that magazine because Steve was gone all of the time, and when they would go to bed, I always like loved to sit down and watch an episode of TV, or I would TiVo it or DVR it and watch it the next night. But I always enjoyed a good, you know, comedy or a drama. And you know, there was a lot of shows that I would like to watch, and I wanted to make the time for it. But then it got to be to the point where there was just so much going on, there was so much TV, and I couldn't watch it all. And one of the things that I never ever got into was, like, I would watch reality shows. I watched like American Idol, like Kelly Clarkson, her voice is amazing, but like Survivor and other ones I kind of got into, but I never ever got into like The Bachelor, anything dating. Like I never liked those kinds of things. Like I'm just not into like one guy or one woman like dating all of these men and the kissing and everything. Like even on Big Brother, like when they're kissing and slurping and oh, like that's not what I want to watch. I want to see the strategy, or you know, hear about a story or a little mystery that's tied up every hour, and that's really what I like. And I find like there's less and less of those TV shows. But even now, like I appreciate watching television. My husband's the opposite. He'd rather stream it and binge it and do all of that. But I remember watching like Orange is the New Black. Like everybody was talking about it. I'm like, I'm gonna watch it. I watched like the first couple of episodes and then I was hooked, and I'm like, what? I can keep watching all of these episodes? And then the season was over. I'm like, well, now what do I do? And then by the time the next season came out, I had no idea what was going on. And I'm just like, I just don't really know if I'm into like all of these episodes being released at once. And then there's only like, you know, sometimes 10, 13 episodes. Like I used to like watching like 22 episodes, like one every week. You know, I'd be off for a couple weeks at Christmas, but I always really enjoyed it, and I still like that. Like even now, like my husband and I'm like, don't you like having something to look forward to with Big Brother? Like it's on 3 nights a week, and I try and get everything like tidied up and done, and that's what I would do. Like the kids would go to bed and I'd do a tidy and all of that, and then I'd sit down and with a bowl of chips or a bowl of ice cream and I'd watch TV or something, and I always enjoyed it. Like I found it was like an escape from everything that was going on in the world, and I'm still like that. It's just, it's getting harder and harder to find shows that I like, and then if I do find something, it friggin' gets canceled. But I don't know, I'm not into all of the streaming shows, and I kind of pick and choose what I want to watch, but I really like things that come out every week. I'm old school like that. But the one thing I do like is, you know, I love music, and you know, remember the, what was it, the Columbia House CD, like you get them like however many for a penny, and then you'd have to fulfill your thing. And I remember like getting the CD or the tape, and you'd listen to the whole tape or record or whatever the heck it was, and you'd hear all the words. So even though like only one song on the tape would be good, like you knew the whole album, and you know, you'd listen to it, and there were certain songs that you really liked, or making mixtapes and everything. But it took up a lot of room, and now I love that I can listen to any song, any music at any time. And I love in the car too. I have Spotify on my little whatever adapter or whatever for Android Auto, and I'll say, you know, play whatever song, and then like the other day I did Joni Mitchell Big Yellow Taxi, and then it kind of went into other songs that were very similar. I love it. One year for Christmas my husband gave me a record player, and it was kind of a novelty, and I'm like, I don't like this, like I gotta pick what song, and then if the record skips, or I just didn't really care for it, and it just wasn't something that I wanted to get into. So my daughter has the record player, all my records and everything, and she pulls it out every once in a while, and she'll get some of the records. I know a lot of artists are going back to vinyl because people are buying them and they can make money, but I do like the streaming services, and you know, making playlists. Like I'm making my own little mixtapes, but it's not taking up all this room. Like I can do everything on my phone. So I really like that about music, that I can listen to anything at any time, and I really do like it. I remember that was one of the things, like whenever I started watching YouTube, like I remember Steve would be gone and the kids would go to bed, and I'd get on the computer and it would be hours later because I would see like old like interviews or music or something like that, and like 2-3 hours would be gone because it was like, like this was so nostalgic, like to see all of these old like clips and everything. But not anymore. Like my time is valuable, and I try and pick and choose like what I want to watch, what I want to do. And even the older I get, like I just feel like some of the TV shows and everything that are coming out, like I don't love it. But then sometimes I also miss too, like what does a whole album sound like? Like I've never listened to a whole album. Like I kind of just listen to you know, whatever's popular or whatever. But I don't even really listen to a lot of like recent music. I just don't find like the artists now, like I appreciate like, you know, people that would go on tour and they'd start off in small venues, and now like somebody has like an internet sensation and like they're selling out, but do they have the talent? Have they put the hard work in? Like are they gonna have a career that's gonna last a long time? And like I've talked about this before, like whenever I was a child I hated like country music because that's what my parents listened to, like, you know, certain music and everything. And now I have such an appreciation for like Dolly Parton, Willie Nelson, like even Johnny Cash, like, you know, what they had to go through, what they had to do to get where they are, and writing their own songs and learning how to teach themselves how to play guitar and everything. Like I have so much more of an appreciation of that and respect it. And I think that's one of those things, is as you get older and you really see how important it is to have those values in your life, and you know, coming from the family and working hard to get what you have and everything, like that's where things now are getting a little bit harder, and trying to find that balance. So it's always that thing, like, you know, Mom, I'm so glad that you taught me this this or that. And I'm like, yeah, well, I'm really glad that you appreciate it all these years later. So it's always interesting to see, you know, different things that happened over the years and different things that how I was parented and how I try and parent and find that balance. So it's always interesting how sometimes we're very much like our mother and sometimes we're very opposite of our mother. But yeah, I just thought it was a nice little chit chat. And I just remember that weekend Steve and I watched Dirty Dancing. We watched it over 2 mornings with our coffee, and then I'm like, oh, you know, we got to get on with the rest of our day. And I really love that movie. And then there was one weekend I said to Steve, let's watch Roadhouse. Neither one of us had seen Roadhouse with Patrick Swayze. And I thought it was all about like the club and, you know, making it come back and be popular and everything. So we watched like the first little bit and I said, oh, we gotta turn it off. I said, I have stuff to do. But I said, let's watch it tonight. I remember all day I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get this done. I'm gonna get that done. You know, we're gonna do this. And then, you know, once everything's settled down, Andrew's done for the evening and all that, we'll sit down and watch Roadhouse. I was never so disappointed in all my life. It's not what I thought it was going to be. It wasn't even hardly about the Roadhouse. It was all like this small town crap, and I didn't need to see all the boobs and everything else like that. But it was so 80s, and I'm just like, nah, this wasn't what I thought it was going to be. But Dirty Dancing, I absolutely loved it. So some movies, they're worth watching again or revisiting, and then there's some movies that no, I'll think I'll pass. But there's some movies that really stand the test of the time, and then there's some movies that I can't even get through. But anyways, Roadhouse, it was a disappointment, but you know, just even seeing Patrick Swayze and, you know, his career and his love life with his wife Lisa, and how, you know, he fought cancer and passed away and everything, like there is a sadness when you see his movies, but it's also a reminder about how valuable life is and to keep doing all the things that you can do, you know, enjoy that time and just try and live each day. I try and do that, but some days I'm pretty tired. But anyways, I'm gonna wrap up this coffee chat. It was really nice just sitting down. I hope that you enjoyed it. Hope you got your laundry folded. Hope that I was able to keep you company. And thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you tomorrow for another day of Vlogust.